Okay, I'd like to tie a red-headed Norfolk Special. This is a fly that was developed by Tim Wade, a Norfolk Anglers Fly Shop in Cody, Wyoming. He developed his stonefly pattern to fish the Norfolk, the Shoshone. It's an excellent pattern when stoneflies are out. I've taken fish on the Norfolk of the white and the 11 point with this fly. Usually tie it in sizes from 18 down to a 10. In the vise I have a 60-degree jig hook with a 1/8 bead, and I have about 6 wraps of 1/15,000th lead wire to hold the bead in place. For thread, I'm going to be using some Vivas. It's a red 12/0. I'll start the thread behind the lead, holding it in place. And we'll get some wrappings around this tag in. Clip it off, and we're going to bring the thread on down then to point down around, just slightly around the bend. At this point, I'm going to put on just a wisp of black dubbing. And I'm going to do that in order to have this separate the tails. Okay, for the tails on the fly, we're going to be using some goose biot. This is in a gray or dun. I've peeled 2 biots off of the strip, and I'm going to separate them. And I want the biot tails to be about the gap hook, not quite that big, but just about the gap. Lay them on top of the shank. I'll make 2 loose wraps and a tight wrap, and secure them in place. Okay, for the ribbing, I'm going to be using some ultra wire in red. And we'll attach it to the side or bottom of the shank. We'll lay a smooth base. And for the body of the fly, we're going to be using some Kaufman's Stonefly blend. I'm going to try to build a body that tapers towards the front. This pattern can also be tied with a copper head or silver head. Usually fish it deep, since it has a 1/8 bead head on it and some weight. You can fish it as a top fly on a 2-fly rig. Okay, we'll bring our wire forward. Don't really have to counter wrap it, but I'm used to doing it that way, so I'm going to counter wrap it forward. And we'll lash it in place. Okay, we helicoptered off the tag. Put a half hitch in here to hold it in place. And for the legs of the wings of the feelers, we're going to use those same goose biots. We're going to put 2 on each side. Okay, I've pulled them off of the stem, 2, and they're going to be about the length of the body. Think about 2 or 3 soft wraps, and then you can make a couple hard wraps. Hold them in place. And make sure they're both the same length. Or as close as we can get them anyways. Can go just a little longer. Okay, we'll lace them in place. Clip off the tag ends. And I'll make a couple more wraps around those stems. Okay, for the thorax area, I'm going to be using a little bit different colored black. This is a Prism 100. It's in black. It's a prism material. So give a little sparkle, a little shine to the thorax. And we'll put another half hitch just to keep it solid. Okay, at this point in time, I'm going to turn the fly over in the vise. Okay, and for the wing buds or the wing pads, I'm going to use some black biots. Okay, I'm going to separate them and pull 3 of these off for the wing pads. Okay, this is what I've got. So I'm going to clip just the ends of it off here. And then I'm going to put it at an angle. I'm going to use an angle wrap, secure this in place on top of the shank. Okay, I'm going to lash this in pretty tight since I want this to really be solid. Come here. Okay, again, I'm going to put in another half hitch. Okay, I'll clip off the very end here to separate these 3 biots. And again, I'm going back to my black prism material. Okay, I'm going to make the first wrap behind all 3 biots, and then the second wrap I'm going to make between the back 2, then the first 2, and we'll go back and make another between the back 2. Make sure these stay separate. Okay, I'll make a couple wraps around the front. Then I'm going to go to these legs, and the first leg I'm going to run the thread between the 2, pull it forward, make a couple wraps around behind the bead, go to the other side and do the same thing. Okay, we'll put in one more half hitch, and again I'm going to put in a head, or I fill in this red area with the black prism material. Take my half hitch tool, put in one half hitch, and then I'm going to take my glue and run some glue on the thread. Again with the half hitch tool, and then we'll whip finish it, 4 or 5 wraps. Cut off our thread, and I'll trim 3 biots. And there we have the red-headed Norfolk Special.